Batshwana Traditional Housing by Reabetswe Aubakwe Matlhaku, Kagiso Rasebai, and Khumele Mohuma. Just to give you an introduction, the Batswana tradition is one that has small real estate and little interest among other South African cultures. Our language, traditions, dressing, and housing are looked at differently by the entire country, and this is mainly due to the assumptions that the culture is not truly South African. The culture is from Botswana and has spilled over into South Africa, and therefore we are Batswana, have no sense of belonging. But in all that we do, we put our cultural ethics and traditions as the primary drive, and this display in our way of building, living, and surviving. Just to give you the location of where we are from, so we are originally from Botswana, and we have spread into the northwestern region of South Africa, previously known as the Bophuthatswana, and some have gone into Namibia, Zimbabwe, and South Africa. So if you just look at the map, you can see that Botswana is actually close to Namibia, Angola, Zambia, and Zimbabwe, and South Africa, which is just below us. Location and climate. So the climate there is semi-arid. It is hot and dry for most of the year. Rainfall found to be erratic, unpredictable, and highly regional. Summer days are hot, especially in weeks that precede the coming of cooling rains. Shade temperature rises to about 38 degrees Celsius mark, and high reaching blistered to 44 degrees Celsius. Winters are clear skied and bone dry. The humidity mostly is summer morning humidity, which ranges from 60% to 80% and drop between 30 and 40% in the afternoon. So if you look at the location and the climate map, this is a map of South Africa as a whole. So in winter, it is less humid. Ranging between 40 to 70% in the morning, and afternoons between 20 and 30%. The winter nights are cool with occasional frost, but the summer nights are moderate by northwest winds in the late evenings. This type of climate encouraged the intensive use of outdoor space. So if you look at, this is a map of Botswana, where this map actually shows warm desert climates versus the warm semi-arid climates. So the history of the Botswana. The creation of settlement dates back to plus 1820. The creation of settlement, which is any tribe actually. The expansion of family to form a family compound by chief advisors. So actually what happens here is that we actually live in a circular motion. If you refer to the picture, as you can see, like each family has its own unique blocks. So the clothing of our people. So the men, what they are wearing is called tshega. This is usually to cover the private parts. As you can see, their clothes are also open due to the hot climates in the area. And the women, they wear makhaba. This is usually their clothes are usually made from recycled materials such as your braai paps, those things. So they use that material to make their clothing. And animal skins, yes, and animal skins. So the religion of the Batswana people. If you refer to the picture, this is a picture of a Saraman dancing in a typical bend forward posture during a trance dance. The dance is intended to activate spiritual power that men use to heal those who are ill. During the dance, men go into a trance may feel spiritual connection with animals such as the eland, giraffe, or gemsbok that they believe possesses supernatural potency. So if you had a picture of what I was saying with the type of housing that I've mentioned earlier, as you can see that this is actually our spatial planning, where we have a large lapa in the middle and surrounding it is the pantry or storage, the ritual room, guest bedroom, the kids bedroom, and the master bedroom. So as you can see, it's in a circular motion. So the housing of the Botswana, if you look at the plan, there's actually you can see where the entrance is, where you enter, and then you are in some form of courtyard, and then as you go inside, this is where usually the spaces are. So if you look at the section, this is how it actually would show, with the roof structure above, where the walls do not reach the highest point of the roof, but they just end at a certain part. This is mostly for ventilation purposes. Since it's very hot, this would allow constant ventilation to come within the overhangs of the roof inside the hut and out again. This was for cooling purposes. As you can see, these are the huts, and our floor finishes usually were comprised of cow dung. As you can see with the picture, we used cow dung to finish our floors and to smoothen it out. And our materials were actually cow dung and clay. So if you look at the roof structure, what I mentioned before, you can see that the roof does not go all the way up to the roof structure, but it ends at a certain point, whereas the overhangs are open, where wind can come into the hut and cool down the area. And then yeah, and thank you so much for your time. Hope this video helps in terms of just the idea of what the Botswana people, just the history of the Botswana people and how we lived back in the day. Thank you.